Hi and welcome to my channel Hisame Artwork. So in the previous video I showed you my top 5 favorite animations based on their story and the atmosphere, and in this video, like I promised, I'm gonna show you guys my top favorite animations by how they look and how they feel. So like the editing and the special effects and things like that. So these are just a feast for the eyes, and like the story comes a bit second. So let me go over the list. Of course, top of the list, Vampire Hunter D 2000, Big Fiction Begonia 2016, Wolfwalkers came out in 2020, so just last year. The Elves of Ga'Hoole, maybe some of you still remember it, 2010, and Millennium Actress 2001, and of course our honorable mentions, Klaus 2019 and Kubo 2016. Curious what your favorite animations are and why. You can of course leave them in the comments below. Maybe I'll find something that I didn't know about, because sometimes some animations can slip between the cracks. If they're from, let's say, Europe or Africa or India, they might not have the same penetration on your markets. So I just want to give you a little disclosure. I am a 90s kid. And I have a soft spot for anime, for old stuff. I'm a sucker for stop motion. I love it a lot. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think stop motion is beautiful. And my top choices are based on 2D, very detailed, colorful, and smooth editing. I like it. I'm not that big of a fan of a 3D. And of course, as always, I will make lists based on themes and feature less known films in the future. Also, like depending on holidays like Christmas or Halloween, like I'll make a separate list for those as well. So subscribe or follow or something like that to keep track if you're interested in my other lists. So we're gonna start with the honorable mentions. I don't know why in some lists they're stuck between the second and the first. It just kind of seems weird. I think you should um, start with these because they're last on your list. And I'm putting them together because I don't think the story's that interesting to me, but the visuals are just stunning. They are gorgeous. They're beautiful. In these two cases, they've really pushed the technical aspect. They've pushed the limits, and what they've managed to create is just spectacular. I definitely recommend you go see these films. I've seen Kubo in cinemas, and it was awesome when it came out. And Klaus, initially I was like, it's 3D. I don't want to see 3D. And then my sister recommended it to me, and I trust her taste. So we watched it together, and I was really impressed with how beautiful Klaus was. Just a gorgeous film, and the story's sweet and nice. It's quite funny, but like I said, the way it looks and the technical stuff used, very impressive. I loved it so much, and I think it's gonna be a technique that's gonna be continue to be used and spread, and I can only be happy for that because I think it looks really nice. My fifth pick, so Millennium Actress. I gotta say off the top, Satoshi Kon, the director, was a true challenger for Miyazaki's crown. Pretty much everything that Satoshi Kon made is beautiful, it's heartwarming, it's gorgeous. A bit depressing. I wouldn't say the Millennium Actress is for kids, but then again, the standards that are in Europe and the US are not the same in Japan. Like in Japan, mm, animation is a medium for all ages, is not for kids. So um, just have that in mind. If you want to watch it with your kids, maybe watch it first to see if it suits your uh, standards. But I think it's just a gorgeous film. You really gotta see it. It's so beautiful. Some of the most amazing editing I've seen in animation. Is a great medium for creative transitions and just the transitions between environments and storylines. So so smoothly flows in Millennium Actress. Like, if you watch the trailer alone, it will be a feast for your eyes. You're gonna want to watch the rest of the film. And it is a heartwarming and beautiful story. And the smooth detail, animation of the movement, just everything. I would say that this is Satoshi Kon's best film. Some people will say it's Paprika. I prefer the story in Millennium Actress because it's more mushy. So yeah, definitely give it a watch. I full heartedly recommend this film. So beautiful and so fun. Like, I loved it a lot. Now, The Legends of Gahul, maybe some of you are old enough to remember it, is just beautiful, detailed models in this film. Just wow. And it was the first 3D film that I thought was, oh my gosh, 3D can look good in animation. The movement is beautiful. The action scenes are so eye-catching and engaging. And I admit I have a weakness for slow-mo, like I am a pleb. I think that 300 is a nice film. So, judge away. And I think the few 3D films have aged so well. The story is pretty neat. It's just a generic hero American film. Nothing particularly special in my opinion, but the way the characters look, the models, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Like, you have to get this film in HD or 4K or something like that. Don't watch it in like the secondhand rip-off from some shady website, because everything's just gonna look brown and pixelated. Get a good resolution of this film. Like, it's a feast for the eyes, treat it as such. Um, yeah, like, don't watch a bad quality. You will be disappointed. See it in a good resolution. Like, this list is full of films you need to see at a good resolution because they're so beautiful. Like, you would ruin the experience if you watched it at any less. Now, third one, Wolfwalkers. Such a beautiful film. I would say best European animation studio at the moment is Cartoon Saloon. They are an Irish animation studio. And just everything they've made, from The Secret of Kells to Song of the Sea, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Um, I'm so happy for them. I consider them the European Ghibli. A lot of people would say that Studio Ghibli from Japan is the Japanese Disney. I think the comparison between Ghibli and Disney is bad on so many levels or incorrect. But I think that the heart and soul and just the characters and the animation style so distinctive, I would compare Cartoon Saloon to Ghibli in spirit and like in purpose and how they evolved, and like they don't do sequels, they just do soul touching, beautiful, gorgeous animations that focus around uh, the characters and protagonists. It's so beautiful and fun to watch. Anything the Cartoon Saloon does, and Wolfwalkers has their own style, but just dialed up to 11, like distilled and perfected, and it's a very distinctive style, which I enjoy a lot. I also have a soft spot for when it's promoting native aesthetic and culture. For example, Kirikou and the Witch is a French animation that focuses on, I forget exactly what ethnicity was from Africa, but it was nice to get like an insight into that. So I really love when things like that happen. Or The Breadwinner from Cartoon Saloon was another beautiful animation that focused on, I think, Afghan rural life and like culture and the situation. So I find those kinds of animations that kind of give me a window into a group of people's lives that I wouldn't otherwise ever come into contact with, very insightful or um, just beautiful. And so I'm very happy when in Wolf Walkers I get to see about Irish culture, so that's very nice. Also, the animation is just so fluid, it's a joy to watch it. I also love that it's nature themed. I love gardening, so anything that has lots of like leaves and flowers and things like that will catch my eye, and I love that. Also, another big bonus for Wolf Walkers is that it's family and kids oriented, so you can watch it with your kids. So fun. And it just has a charming story, and it's like two girls and they're fighting the bad guys, and it's fun and it's cute. I love it. Big Fish and Begonia, the second one. Wow, this is such a beautiful film, and doesn't surprise me because it was made by the Korean studio Mir. That did Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. They're just great animators over at that studio, and I'm so happy for them that they're growing. And I would say that this is one of the best animations to come out of China so far. Even if it's made by Koreans, the funding and the aesthetic is Chinese. The direction, the atmosphere is Chinese, so I would still consider it a Chinese film because it feels very Chinesey, even though it was made by Koreans. And it kind of looks like an anime, but it's so beautiful. And I'm so happy for Chinese animation that it's waking up. Like, so many productions are coming out of it. Mostly it's 3D, and like I'm biased against 3D, so that's why I consider Big Fish and Begonia more beautiful because it's 2D. So that's my bias there. And I'm so glad I get to see like Chinese aesthetics and themes because just in Chinese films or just whenever there's shown landscape or scenery from China, it's enormous. Like all the buildings are ridiculously huge. All the landscape is just so big, and I kind of enjoy that. You usually don't see this like ridiculously big scale in animation. Like an anime, for example, like things tend to be a bit smaller, and they focus on like smaller spaces. So when you just see stuff like this in Big Fish and Begonia, just humongous. Personally, it reminds me a bit of um, American backdrops where everything's just really big and empty, or it's big with lots of similar looking buildings. And you kind of can get this sense in Big Fish and Begonia, but at the same time, it's just overly colorful, like in Chinese and Indian backdrops, and it's something new for me as an European to see, or it's something rare to see. So I would definitely recommend Big Fiction Begonia. It's a visual feast for the eyes. And the last one, my favorite, the film that I consider to be most beautiful, even though I tend to like colorful stuff, I do have a soft spot for steampunks, gothic things, and this is one of the reasons I really love the Batman 90s animated series. Was I think on Cartoon Network, and everything was just dark in that series, but I loved it because it was like this Art Deco combined with goth and very moody and atmospheric, and it's really hard to make night scenes look good. You have to have a certain level of skill. Like, feel like it's easy to make stuff colorful, but hard to make dark stuff look good. And Vampire Hunter D from Madhouse has done a great job with bringing to film the comic books with Vampire Hunter D. I feel like the animation looks way better than the comics. Um, and the smooth and detailed and gorgeous animations are just butter on my soul. Chef's kiss to the editing, amazing editing, like in Millennium Actress with Satoshi Kon. Just great editing. Uh, awesome action fights. I love fight scenes. Uh, the backgrounds are gorgeous. And of course, it has steampunk stuff, it has sci fi stuff, it has goth stuff. Like, at the end, you have this massive gothic castle that turns into a spaceship rocket and just flies into the moon. Um, and you have like these weird creatures and robot horses, and just it ticks every box for me. This is my all-time favorite, like guilty pleasure film to watch. It's not something that you can watch every day on repeat. Like, I showed my list of favorite animations. But this is beautiful. Like it's a treat to watch it. And of course, whenever it's October, that's my Halloween month, and I just have to watch it then. Like I've seen it a bajillion times. I never get tired of watching Vampire Hunter D. Because like I said, it's so beautiful and it's so atmospheric, and it has like everything I want. It has vampires and robots and uh, rockets and castles and monsters, and when you name it, it has it. Um, so yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you'll give these films a try. And I just wanted to let you guys know that whenever I reach a milestone, I make art giveaways, and I'm very close to reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and getting monetized. So if you want that if art event to get here quicker, then subscribe. And of course, leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions, like, all that stuff. Um, and yeah, so you can find me on social media. You can follow me there to keep up with what I do, with news and things like that. And of course, you can read my books on Lulu and on Tapastic. If you want to support, you can on Coffee. Uh, what else? And yeah, you can join my Discord server and we can talk more about films there. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.